You're listening to the 808s and Joysticks podcast, now available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome to episode 25 of 808s and Joysticks, the show that bridges the gap between games, music, season and pop culture. I'm Tairell, and joining me today, as always, is Tom.
Welcome to the 25th episode. It's nearly been a year since we started this now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's this will just be short of a week before the pilot episode launched last year, so... I mean, 25 episodes is sort of like a big thing that we've come to, didn't expect that we'd probably get this far and have this much reception from it. So we're grateful to be here. And, we're getting our hands on more games and we're playing a few more games. So I'll sort of kick that off and we'll speak about the impending release of Anthem, which is coming out in the next 2 weeks now. So it comes out, number one, we'll speak about this. Have you seen the release schedule for Anthem?
No, I haven't seen any kind of release schedule or anything like that, but is this supposed to be on the terms of like a live service or something? Like, have they got a, what do you call it? Is it a roadmap? Have they got a roadmap for the game?
Yeah, so there's like a roadmap for the game. They haven't said anything, but release schedule, just like the release schedule of the actual game to play it. So coming out, like the demo come out February 1st to 3rd. So I had the chance to play that over the weekend. And then the game comes out on the 15th of February, but only exclusively to Origin Access Premier members. And only a 10 trial access on the 15th of February for Origin Access members, but you can't get EA Access on PlayStation. So if you have EA Access, you can only get a 10-hour trial on the 15th of February on an Xbox, but PlayStation users will have to wait until the 22nd of February to play the full game, and anyone that has pre-ordered the game will have to also wait until the 22nd of February to play the game, even if you've ordered a deluxe edition of the game. Origin Access Premier members
what the hell is that?
Confusing.
Another
get priority.
Another subscription? But I thought if you had that EA Access stuff, I thought you got all the games early first.
No, you get a trial, and then you get if you own the Premier service, you get access to the full games.
It's all too much.
But now they're getting early access. So obviously we mentioned like Young Gear a lot, a YouTuber that we watch who does a lot of industry coverage, and he was discussing this and basically saying that it's not actually at the point where it's early access now. It is just the fact that people get to play the game late. Like, it's not early access when it's a live game that's going live and people have to earn loot and stuff. At this point, like, you're saying that people aren't getting an advantage, and yeah, you're not going against each other in the game, but why do these people get a week's early access when other people have pre-ordered the game maybe like 6 months in advance?
Yeah, surely those people should be coming first. So what people are essentially trying to say now is, if you get whatever service they're providing rather than pre-ordering the game through an official console store or official retailer store, then you've no longer got a perk. There is no reason to pre-order games anymore. Like, pre-orders were only around for the sole reason that you used to be able to get special items in game, or special items that came with the actual physical disc. Now, seeing as where the selling and buying of games is all going to more of a digital platform. Also, I myself has just also got a PC, and I can see how everything's different. I really feel like I'm not out the loop in so what's, but I asked Tom a lot of questions because he's had a PC for quite a while, and what do I do? Like, where do I get the games from? Like, what's the best deals? And or downloading, got like hard drive space. Got to think about what's better to put it on the SSD and stuff like that. Like when you get games, you just want to pre-order it, pick it up, and have the game. Now you got to think about whether I should have this other subscription that I could pay the game a month early. That's not really fair. You're already pre-ordering the game. Why should you have to go through jump through another hoop, essentially, or pay some more money to play the game even earlier, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't really make too much sense to me. I mean, having played the game,
it doesn't even warrant all of this. Does it even warrant all? Like, let's start off with that. Is it worth it?
Well, I'll just go straight off the bat from like my honest opinion. Just review. Is it worth it? Simple answer: no, not really. I wrote some things down here. The core gameplay and the customization is pretty good. A lot of people have said that. Like, the flying is a bit hard to get used to, but once you get used to it, like, it makes sense. Customization's pretty cool. Although it could possibly get expensive with microtransactions, the way that they're being priced and leaks. But then, like, the variety in the game is very sparse. There's not too much to it. I think I played it for 2 hours on co-op with one of my friends. We played probably about 3 missions, I think you get to play in the demo. Or we played 3 missions anyway.
Was that with Brandon? Was that Brandon?
No, it was with one of the friends that's...
Because I know you said yesterday, off air, you talked about how you was trying to play with Brandon, like Parsec. I don't know if you were trying to do it with Anthem or if it like worked or anything like that.
No, played Anthem. I did invite Brandon to come play Anthem with us, but his response was, fuck that, I'm not playing an EA game, so...
Well, that is the stance. I pretty much have the same stance as well, because I've never really been for this game. You've been the one that's been the most interested out of the both of us. So I thought, okay, as long as one of us is interested in the game, someone can cover it. At least. Then what you're telling me, and also what you shared on the 808 story, that it's not good, is making me even more confirmed that the game is terrible, and it's just yet again.
It has potential, but I can't see it.
But in this day and age,
I can't see it beating Destiny.
Do we have time for potential? Do you know what I'm saying? And also, yeah, you've got Destiny already, and arguably, you know, that game is a little bit fucked because, you know, you've got Bungie self-publishing now. You know, Activision ain't got nothing to do with it, which is probably better for the game in the long run. But Destiny is also a bit of a mess. Like, the amount of expansion packs is supposed to be a live service, a game that's supposed to have like this 10-year roadmap. We've been fairly critical about Destiny on the show, and it's rightful to be critical of the game because essentially it's a grind fest, and you literally have to pay so much hundreds of like pounds in order to even play the full experience of the game, and I just don't believe in shit like that. I don't know about you though, Tom. Like, I don't know how you feel about another game like this being released into the market at such, you know, mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just...
I understand, like, if people enjoy these games, I can sort of understand that. But having played through this and the variety of the missions, I think we only saw like 6 NPCs that would, well, that's probably a bit mean. Okay, 12 different NPCs, but they're all the same sort of enemy. And then there was just hordes of them, and the missions were sort of just that. And then there was this puzzle thing, but there was no instructions on what we're meant to do. And that was like the only difference. And then that ended. That was just the end of the mission. So you fought a horde and then worked a puzzle out, and that was it. And we're a bit like...
Fallout 76 sounds more enjoyable than this game. And that's saying a lot.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I mean, this game's like... It's not a bad game. Like, it is a good game. It's got good core to it, but the content isn't there, and there's still bugs. The one thing I will say, the UI is absolutely horrendous. I don't know who made this UI, but it's terrible on PC. and then you thought it could be improved on console because using a controller, it's still pretty bad. Like, there's no idea what you're doing. And then, to top that off, my sound cut out halfway through I was playing the game, and I didn't really understand why. And I think I know why it cut off. Because there's a setting that changes the audio. So there's a setting that's on by default in the game, which if you click off the screen on PC and put your mouse on like another screen, if you've got dual screens, then it cuts the sound off completely. And the only way to get the sound back, I think, is to restart the game, which I wasn't willing to do.
So is this a demo or is it a beta? I'm really finding it hard to understand what this is supposed to be.
It's a demo. They're calling it a demo. I'm taking it as a demo. But they keep saying they're going to improve stuff. They've got 2 weeks. Like,
oh fuck! That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at this. I'm like, they've got no plans of changing anything major in the game. You can't. It's like, literally, there's 19 days until the game comes out. What are they going to do in 19 days? They've already pushed this game back, till February the 22nd to drop alongside all the other games that are also coming out on like that same release window.
13 other games coming out on the 22nd.
I know, we're going to get into that as well a little bit more because, let's not forget Crackdown, which is also coming out, which is probably going to be the most...
Crackdown coming out on that day.
Underwhelming. Crackdown is coming out around that time because I remember it also changed its release date because it didn't want to get released alongside...
Well, a new article just come out today from Forbes. Under 2 weeks left to release, Xbox's Crackdown 3 still looks abysmal. I'll take that with a pinch of salt, as it is, and leave it at that. Go and do your own research.
Well, apparently the campaign mode is about 15 hours. So, yeah, there's that. It will be coming out on the 15th of February. A lot of these articles keep still saying that it's in development for PC and Xbox One, and it's going to come out on the 15th of February. This means that like nobody really knows if the game is still coming.
Yeah, I mean, so I know that it's been made by Sumo. I follow a few people from Sumo, and I think the game was like pretty far along. They seem to be happy with it, but it's not Sumo Digital's fault for getting given this game. But it's a common thing we're seeing a lot now, where we spoke about this sort of a bit last week. Publishers and higher ups in games companies trying to push games out the door quicker than they should be, and trying to market them in weird ways and setting like unreasonable schedules.
Well, I don't really know what happened with Crackdown because it was never one of these games where I thought, yo, this is going to be like the one to really blow it out the gate. But the way a lot of
people did though, didn't they?
Yeah, but I don't really know. Like, I just really don't know why. And there's still, remember before when they said that it was going to be like cloud-based like multiplayer? They're still using that cloud-based technology. So could this be the real reason? Like they were trying to get this kind of shit to like crack off. Like they said that Crackdown 3 is probably the only one who's premiering this kind of cloud powered multiplayer technology. So maybe this is the reason why it took so many years.
It's a big possibility. I mean, if they get it right multiplayer wise, then that's a good thing. Like it gives them insight into the industry and helps the industry, but for them, I don't think the game will be a big success. We're just talking about sort of Microsoft here, but they I don't know, it's been planned for ages and then keeps getting delayed, changing developers, and we all know that is never a good thing for a game.
No, it's never.
How many times does that happen now? Like it's a bit scary that the industry's becoming a bit like that. In some ways it's getting a lot better. In other ways, things are being sort of given up on too quickly, in my opinion. Not enough investment is being put into stuff. People want a quick return.
Yeah.
And we know from quality games that have been made recently, things like God of War, for example, Red Dead Redemption, games of last year, they weren't made overnight. They weren't made in like under a year, under 2 years. They took a long time to make those games, and there's a lot of detail and effort put into them. So if you want a good product that's going to sell well and be like revered by the public, then you need to put time and effort into it. Not try and half-ass some shit together in like 2 months and use like a hype thing like we saw with, I mean, something we got coming up, we'll talk about it now because it fits in.
Yeah.
Titanfall's free Battle Royale mode. How many people made Battle Royale modes when Fortnite come big? Like, that wasn't originally planned. They just jumped on it and made it for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is there a need for people to make quick money? Why can't people plan out something? Like,
because it's just the way how the business is going. Investors want their like millions of invested into this, and they want to see this amount. And you know, there's games that make so much money. Like, you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, made so much money, and it'd be touted as like a flop, like a commercial flop. Like Mass Effect Andromeda was a commercial flop. Dead Space 3 was a commercial flop to EA. Like, it didn't make enough money. Yet these games are these games. Well, Battlefront was just a terrible game, but like,
it made a lot of money still.
But it still made a lot of money. Do you know what I'm saying? But all of these things were still known as commercial flops to people, and you're starting to realize the ones that aren't commercial flops are the ones that have really been worked on. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, you've got the quality single player games that have been doing, you know, amazing. Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, you know, all those kind of games. Red Dead. Even though Red Dead, arguably, everyone has their arguments for and against Red Dead, there's been a lot of a mix like emotions about it. The online mode hasn't really taken off as much as GTA has, so I'm gonna follow Red Dead to see what Rockstar's gonna do with the game, because I don't think it's really captivated the audience like GTA 5 did when it first came out. So I'm gonna see what they actually do with Red Dead in order to entice people back into the game for online, because GTA Online is still booming. I even like got it on PC the other day because I wanted to play GTA, because I thought, there's so many mods and like cheats and stuff I could do. I could have so much fun in it. So I decided to get it.
Yeah, we sort of not predicted, but spoke about this before though, didn't we? The fact that as much as they're made by the same company and the underlying aspects of them are the same, they're very different games in their own right. They've got different target audiences. Even though they're both aimed at 18 plus, everyone knows the people that play GTA mainly are younger people. Yeah, GTA is more about sort of having fun, sort of riding around in cars, getting the flashiest things you can have. Red Dead's very much more relaxed. I've not played the online yet, but it's very much more relaxed sort of gang approach to stuff. You know, it's a different atmosphere to try and do that online. It also takes a lot more time to travel somewhere on a horse than it does in a car.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I don't think they really thought through. Like, is the, you know, fast traveling and actually traveling on such a vast land. It's long. People don't want to do that. It's boring. Like, you know, so like, it's not very. As opposed to like flying like a jet or like a helicopter or driving in like a, you know, a quote unquote Lamborghini type car. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? That's more cool. But that's really all. It's all really down to opinion. But following up with some other news as well, as we just want to move on in this section, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Metro Exodus. And I really didn't expect this from such a really, really, really good game. Like, this is one of them type of games where Yeah, definitely been worked on for quite a while. You can definitely see there's quality in the game. The last Metro games are amazing first-person shooters. Probably one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played. Will melt your PC. You need some good hardware to run that at high. It's an amazing game.
Why did I played it pretty well?
Yeah, but I heard people... I heard it's really, really melted people's PCs. Like, it's a quite intensive game if you wanted to like run everything like at super max, maxing out all your settings. Yeah. So essentially, Metro went exclusive for Epic Game Store rather than Steam, and that has really upset quite a few people. But at the same time, I'm starting to see that there's a new streaming wars going on, kind of like when, you know, Apple had all the exclusive albums, you know, had Drake and Tidal had like Kanye and Rihanna and Beyonce, and, you know, their Spotify had, I don't really know who Spotify's had, but, you know, they've had exclusive stuff too. So
yeah, they have a lot of the Spotify sessions that are like exclusive.
The Mac Miller sessions, you know, recipes Mac, and, you know, They had things like that, and that got ended once like all the labels signed a contract that no more exclusivity rights can be given over to one platform. This is causing quite the same problem, because now people are starting to be unhappy that certain games are only dropping on certain platforms, and there's not really any way to fix that, because, you know, Ubisoft have their own launcher, Origin have their own launcher. There's other launchers as well. I'm not really quite sure. What do you know if there's any more launchers that I'm missing out? Just because I know you're more versed in it.
There's loads of launchers. Like, basically any publisher that can publish a game that's big enough will have its own launcher. You can launch games from Discord and buy them from the Discord store as well. Like, the Epic aren't the first people to try and combat Steam, and I honestly think it's a good thing. I know a lot of people on PC are hating on it, but yeah, this is different to like the streaming wars between music or something like Netflix. Like, you don't have to go out and buy a subscription for this shit. You just download a launcher.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. Your friends might not be on that, but to be honest, people aren't using Steam Chat because Steam Chat is pretty shit. Yeah, people are using Discord, which you have to have different friends on anyway. So, in my opinion, if you're a PC gamer, you should just be used to having to add people and different shit. That's how it works. Like, everyone, well, not everyone, but most people have already got an Epic account. They've either played Fortnite, or they've played Quake, or they've played Unreal Tournament, or they've used the Unreal Engine. Like, I don't know. Steam's outdated. Epic are offering a lot more money back from the game being on their store. Our publishers are going to take that, because why would they give people the option to have it on two stores where they could make less money because everyone's going to download it off that store, or they put it on the one where they get more revenue? People still buy the game. It's on the same platform. It's just using a different launcher. Also, Epic's launcher, I've used a fair bit from doing a lot of Unreal stuff the last few days. They've launched it. They're offering free games every 2 weeks. You know,
that's hard.
Jackbox Party Pack is free for the next 2 weeks, and then Axiom Verge is free after that, which again is a really good indie game. And it's actually quite clean and nice. And I think that, you know, if they can implement some chat system, might be a thing. Maybe they'll buy Discord out. That would be a nice thing to have in there. Or maybe they'll just integrate with Discord. But, you know, there's a lot more possibility there than there is Steam going forward, because Steam's updates, while decent, it just looks so outdated compared to all the new stuff that's come out recently on PC, tools that allow you to chat and stuff.
I think this is really cool, because I feel like some rivalry allows Steam to really Steam's become complacent, or, well, it kind of is. Well, let's just look at Valve as a company. I can see the complacency. Their last game flopped. Their little card game that they came out with didn't do well at all. Because nobody wanted a Dota card game. Like, nobody wanted that from Valve. Valve knows what everyone wants. They want Left 4 Dead 3 or Half-Life, or, you know, they want those games. They want a new Portal game. They don't want a card game again. So I can see that maybe Valve might be struggling in this new climate, and I'm glad that someone like Epic Games Store is really there to start, you know, to begin to show real fear into Valve, so they can actually start making some real good improvements, start cleaning up the marketplace, start bringing in quality indie games, stop letting shit be produced on the Steam store where people are, like, you know, ripping people off or producing really, really, like, not cool, like, media, like, really, really, like, fucked up shit. Like, some of the games that are released on the store, I don't know how they managed to get through, like, screening in order to be sold on the Steam store. It's just a joke sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought about the comparisons between Valve and Epic? Like, the fact that both of these people have come from making game engines and games, and then had a successful game and used that to launch a platform. It's a very similar comparison, the fact that Valve did this with Steam, and now Epic have had a really big success with Fortnite. Yeah, obviously, and they already have a really successful engine. And
arguably, Epic is probably much more successful than Steam and Valve, because the engine is being sold. Like, Unreal Engine is used in so many games, like games that are also being sold on the Steam marketplace as well. So for them to also remove all Unreal backed games, say for example, if they did do that and sell them only on the Epic store, Steam's going to be fucked. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Steam would be fucked. So I
don't think they'd remove it. I don't think they have the option to do that. The license.
Yeah, they won't now. But say for example, every new Epic game that comes along is only sold on the Epic store, and is cutting off good deals as well, like to small indie game developers. That's a great thing.
They offer what's it, don't they? So you get more percent if you use Unreal Engine and publish your game on the Epic store. I think you get about 20%, 15% more than you get from Steam from revenue.
That's hard.
So basically, it's not saying to people, we're not letting you put stuff elsewhere, but they're just saying, like, we know you used our stuff, so, you know, if you put it on our store, then you get a bit more from it.
And the thing is, yeah, Steam could have been doing this. They could have upgraded the Source engine to be way better than it is right now. Instead, they just stagnated and they just didn't do anything about it. Like, it's just, it really is upsetting, because when you do the two parallels between the companies, you can see there's real big similarities, can't you? And it is a little bit sad, but sometimes it's time for the old guys to get out of here. It's time for the new guys to come in and, you know, take over and show some new ideas and some new features, some new things. Yeah, so I think this is good.
As much as like, I'm not a big fan of Fortnite, the game has changed gaming as a whole in a weird way. But it has changed it for the better. You know, there's still bad things that come out of everything.
Oh yeah, of course there is.
But it's done a lot of stuff that's very, like, revolutionary. Even stuff this week. But I think a lot of the hate is because it's Fortnite, and PC gamers are like, oh, I don't want to play on something that's made by Fortnite. You know, this isn't Half-Life. Like, I'm sorry, but the people have got to understand that the time will come for something else to come along. And I think that people are sleeping on the fact that Epic aren't going to do this and do that. I mean, they're a very, very reputable company with massive links now. You know, they were big before, but after Fortnite and all the partnerships they've had with that, they're now huge, and they can bring in a lot of people to do exclusive stuff on there. You know, if they're offering them more money, they're not going to turn around and say, "Oh, we've worked 3 years on this game. Let's put it on the other store where we earn less money." Also, moving back onto that, the people that made Metro 4A games, okay, the developers that made it, they're not the ones publishing it. They don't decide what store it goes on. Deep Silver do that. So, I mean, it's all about the money at the end of the day, and you know, it's not their decision that it goes on that store. But I mean, I don't agree with the statement that the developer come out and said that people that are hating on the game don't care about the franchise. It's a little bit, you know, witch hunty. You shouldn't be doing that, especially not before the game's released. But I mean, if you're out there and you're listening and you're leaving Steam reviews on old Metro games saying that the games are shit because you're not happy with this, then I mean, you're not helping the community at all. All you're doing is proving why Steam is probably a bad marketplace, because they can't handle content like that. How many times do we see people hate something about a game or a publisher and then go and like spam the comments and make all their games have bad ratings on Steam?
I was just... It's always going to be like that though, isn't it?
But the thing is, like, it could be controlled with a better system. But if Steam's system's outdated and they're trying to keep improving on it, there's only so much you can do.
Their system is broken. Like they've tried twice now to try and fix the green, the Steam green light system, and it just hasn't been fixed. You know, you've even got people that have to pay money now to submit your game. And some of the shit that's being submitted on there, I'm thinking, where do these people get this money from to actually submit this piece of shit game? It's not adding up. It's just not adding up. It just really isn't. Let's move on. Let's move on to something that's a little bit more positive, because we always do what we usually do in this section, and we always overrun. So we're just gonna run through some last few topics. So there's a PlayStation patent that came out. Backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 5 going all the way back to the PS2, maybe the PlayStation 1. That is interesting. But I don't know if I can see this really being true. Would Sony really do this for their like supposed, you know, final console?
I think so. I mean, I've not heard the word final console. I've been batted around too much, but that's why I said supposal final console, because I'm not quite sure where the game console goes after this next generation. It will be quite hard to maybe keep up with like the type of hardware that's being produced for PC gaming now. Yeah, I've heard like, well, I haven't heard anything. I was discussing this with some people the other day about where's the future of this gonna go. And this come up like after that, and it was pretty interesting to see. I think that, you know, allowing you to have that backwards compatibility with all your previous consoles, if this is going to be the last thing that accepts physical stuff, is pretty nice. You know, if it moves to digital after that, then at least at that point, like, you have a console that can play all the games that you've ever owned.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty nice. If it's going to work that way. I don't know if the backwards compatibility thing is going to be digital, like Nintendo's online system. Well,
from reading the article, it says that the side of this supposed backwards compatibility system sounds pretty crazy. Essentially, it allows the machine, being in the PlayStation 5 or whatever it's going to be called, to mimic the behavior of the previous consoles using multiple processors. So, basically in layman terms, whenever you put in the game or boot up whatever game from whatever previous generation, the PlayStation 5 tricks the software into thinking it's running on the original device. So, essentially it's just emulating within the console, but it's gonna have 4 really, really powerful emulators running within one system, plus an actual whole new system, a whole new processor for the PlayStation 5 games. So that's very interesting to actually hear something like that. I don't even know if something like that is even possible. So,
it's definitely possible. I mean,
I guess you
can emulate older games. Obviously, not as powerful with like a Raspberry Pi, which is just a small little board. So, with the finances and research at their disposal, it's definitely possible for Sony to do something like this. I think they possibly would have even looked at it last time and maybe not done it because they didn't really see the point in it, and they can make more money from digital stuff selling again.
Yeah. Well, they've got the PlayStation Now thing where you can buy the game. Well, you can rent the game and you can actually download it as opposed to streaming the game. Essentially taking Xbox's Game Pass idea from them. Mm-hmm. So, backwards compatibility on the next PlayStation, I can see that really being possible. Will it work in this way? I'm really not sure.
Well, if you compare it to Microsoft, so last E3 where consoles were announced, we've seen Microsoft announce backwards compatibility and stuff like that, and then PlayStation I don't know if they did announce that actually. I can't remember. But current consoles that we've got now. So Xbox has backwards compatibility, PlayStation doesn't. And it also doesn't have 4K, which is the other thing Xbox has. Apart from that, there's not too much difference between the consoles. On the outside, obviously spec-wise inside they're different, but on the outside looking in, there's not too much difference. Now, if PlayStation take the backwards compatibility with the market they already own from last generation, move that onto a next generation, improve on the VR stuff that they've obviously been working on, I think, there's definitely a PSVR version 2 on the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Which might be included with the PS5. They have such a hold over that then that I think Microsoft would be forced to maybe look at PC a bit more in their game service instead of just hardware at that point.
Well, I actually learned recently via listening to another podcast, shout out to the Gaming Illuminati podcast, that the PSVR is essentially like, it was one of the most popular commercial VR headsets out there because of the price it was and because of how many PlayStations are actually out there. Also, PlayStation Network made more than Xbox and Nintendo combined last year, which is very interesting.
Yeah, well, you'd possibly expect the network to make more because of how many people are on it. Yeah. But the PSVR stuff, I didn't even think that was a thing. And then at Christmas, as my little cousin was like, "Oh, I got a PSVR for Christmas." I was like, "Are people getting PSVRs? Like, is that a thing?" And then I looked into it, and there's a lot of PSVRs. Like, you'd be surprised how many people have got VR that play on PlayStation.
But I just didn't think it was a thing. Like, I'm just as shocked as you when I started hearing about how it's one of the most commercially successful virtual headsets. And I was thinking, yeah, I did hear it worked very well. And I actually, did I play one? No, I've tried one before. I tried Resident Evil 7 only briefly. I was a bit too shook to play it fully. But yeah, it does play pretty well. It's a pretty solid headset. I can see why you would probably need a pro to play it, because I don't think you get the greatest capabilities out of it playing it on an original PlayStation rather than a Pro. But yeah, VR2 definitely on the way. PlayStation 5 is already going to be ready to tackle that kind of hardware as well. I guarantee you it's probably, it might even be bundled with it. They might try and do something a little bit more with the VR for next generation.
Mm-hmm. I think that's definitely the case. Although I've just thought, which I've not thought about before, I think that if they don't bundle the stuff with it, I think the PSVR at the moment will be compatible straight from the bat with the PS5. So it means people don't have to go out and buy a new thing.
Oh, don't have to. Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm thinking it's going to be ready from the get-go. Yeah, for sure.
It definitely makes sense. I mean, last thing to cover in the gaming section. Resident Evil 2, obviously the remaster released this week. I've not had a chance to play it yet, but I am going to play it after this.
I played the one-shot demo. It was big crazy. Tom, I will talk to you about actually Resident Evil 2 when we finish recording up the show. I'll message you about it because I was going to get it as well because I'm seeing something about like the DLC. Like, don't know if I need that. But Resident Evil 2 came out. I've had tons of people like come up to me, give me really great reports about the game. So just another great release that's been locked away in the vault. And speaking of other great releases locked away in the vault, Kingdom Hearts 3 was released after
it's around 14 years since Kingdom Hearts 2, I think. 14 years. It's a damn long time since I bought that game in America.
Since the mainline game, it's been 14 years. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. Played most of the games. Just haven't. There's 2 games I haven't played out of the series. The 3DS one and a PSP one. I haven't played. Well, I'm looking to get all the collection because I heard they're doing a mega collection soon. It's gonna have all the games.
It's already available on the PS Store right now.
Oh, okay.
Kingdom Hearts 3 included.
Oh, okay. That's fucking lit. That is.
I didn't get that.
You got the separate. Yeah. You got the discs.
I'm happy with that because I wanted to play it before.
Yeah, that's true.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah. We're probably not even going to get around to even giving a full insight or review about Kingdom Hearts 3 until uni's pretty full on at the moment. So we haven't really got time to play all of these games, but we try to play as much as we can. We want to try and get into streaming more as well, seeing as also I've got a PC now. Yes, guys, I've got a PC. I'm a part of the master race. And
it does make it a lot easier for us to
play games. Yeah, it does. And we've been using a little service called Parsec.
Shout outs to Parsec.
Shout out to Parsec. It's really, really good software. It's free. Go out there and download. You can play local co-op, couch co-op, online with your friends. It even has controller support. It supports emulators if you allegedly can get those games. And it's really, really good. Also supports modern games as well, and also other applications. So for example, you could watch a film together. I think you could use it for stuff like that.
We're not using it for stuff like that.
No, we're not using it for stuff like that. But I'm saying that if you wanted to use it, you wanted to do a group watch with you and a bunch of your friends, or group watch a film, review it or something. I don't really know what you want to do with it, but it's basically essentially a more powerful screen sharer.
It's pretty cool. There's just one thing before we leave this. I don't know if we ever said this Kingdom Hearts story. Have I told you the story? I went to America and bought Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I think you told me about it, and it never worked, did it?
No. So I'm thankful that digital's now a thing, and they got rid of region locking. Because I was very young when Kingdom Hearts, the original, come out, and I went to where'd I go? I went to Orlando, Florida. Disneyland, obviously, was in the Disney store, and I seen this game on the shelf, which looked fucking amazing. It's like Final Fantasy crossed with Disney. I was like, what the fuck's this? I need this game. So obviously I was like young, I was getting my parents to buy it, bought it, took it all the way across, like 2 weeks later on the plane, got home, put it in my PlayStation 2, I was ready to go, and it didn't work, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And it's NSTC, not PAL. And I was good. But I did get the game on PS2 on PAL in the end. But I still have that NSTC game sat in my box at home.
Hey,
still there.
It's good to have.
Never played it.
Yeah, it's good to have it though, because that's like certain versions of the game had different things in it. So maybe you might have like something extra, like an extra ending or something. I did hear the American version. I know the Japanese version definitely had a final mix, which was like an extended edition of the game as well.
Yeah, they're all the new PS4 remasters are all the final mixes now. So
Yeah.
I've finally got the chance to play that version of the game as well.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I love that. So nice way to end the gaming section. Shout outs to the end of region locking and the end of region exclusivity, sort of, in a way.
I don't think so.
In a way.
What I don't think that's over. But one little tiny thing as well that I just missed out. Dragon Ball Z role playing game is coming soon. By the way, got announced. It's coming. Yes, I think it's coming this year.
2019.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's coming this year, and it follows the story of Goku. We don't have any more details, but it got announced at the World Championship for Dragon Ball Fight Z, another game that actually got on PC, and it was really hard. I really like
it.
The
Looks
game.
like it follows the Dragon Ball Z story by what I've heard.
Yeah,
So,
not super. So if you're into, the original story again, but in a role playing game, like more kind of like area, then yeah, I think that's going to be the game for you. Yeah, that's
if you're into role playing as Goku.
Goku. But I can imagine there's probably going to be other things to do in the game as well, which might make it a bit crazy. So I'm looking forward to it personally. And
I'm excited.
just to sign off there.
Good.
On the gaming side of everything, I'm gonna just shift into films and TV. We don't really have much.
Yeah, seamless transition.
That transition, that was the shittest transition in the world. I don't know what. Like, we was both just milling around. It's like, Dragon Ball, yeah.
You wouldn't guess this is the 25 episode.
I know.
25th episode.
We've
done this before. Don't worry.
I know. It's terrible.
We've messed that up. Well, jump in. Fuck it. Why not? Titans. Anyone watch Titans on Netflix? Obviously, I'm not going to be able to hear you. But at that point...
Why would you even say that? Why would you even say that?
I'd expect you to shout, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
No, not you, just people listening. But, yeah, you watched, the first few episodes of this?
I've only watched episode 1. I haven't watched any more past it.
Oh, have you only watched episode 1?
Nah, I am going to watch the rest of the season. I did like it. Once I gave it a chance again, I thought, I'm going to power through. And, it ain't too bad. I've been hearing good things, so I want to give it a finish.
It's pretty good. So I actually finally finished it last night. I had 2 episodes left, and I don't know why I just waited a long time to finish it. But, it was pretty good, the ending confused me a bit. It made sense, it makes sense, but just the last episode a bit confusing. And I heard that there's a lot of stuff where an episode may have been pushed back to the start of season 2, so you can sort of possibly see that. Especially the fact that there's 11 episodes in the first series, not 12, which I would expect 12 normally. So,
that's a little bit
like
that's sneaky. That's sneaky.
It seems like it's been pushed, but I mean, there's some nice after credits in the last episode, so stay for that. It's nice to see a little bit of what's coming next and stuff. I must say as well, the recaps for the Titans was really good because you can jump back into the series and it gives you a recap in 30 seconds right from the start of the series again. So it's pretty nice to know exactly what's going on at that point. Yeah, I thought the acting was pretty good in it. I think the story is pretty good. they went quite dark in some areas. I thought they were going to go even darker at one point, but they didn't. I at one point I thought there was just going to be like dead kids and stuff, but there wasn't. So I think that might have been too dark for DC.
Yeah, I don't think they would have really went down that route.
I mean, they still went pretty dark, but like they could sort of draw it back in a bit, and that works. So I mean, out of 10, probably give it like a 7 or an 8. Like it was a good series in my opinion. I've not watched any of the Marvel series, so I can't comment on them. But the DC Universe TV stuff, I'm always more interested in that for some reason, because it's a little bit more mature, I could say. Like, it seems a bit more serious, and I think that suits TV better than film. I think Marvel's got the film market, but DC is sort of got the TV market for older audiences. Marvel is more suited towards slightly younger audiences on TV, I would say.
Well, I think also you can just see the difference in the production and the tone when DC actually does have full control and capability over the show. Like, that was DC Presents, well, Netflix DC original Titans, wasn't it? So it's a Netflix original show, but it was by DC. Like, could we see, like, maybe now that the Marvel contract is over with Netflix, or while it's coming to an end, can we now see DC taking over the contract and seeing some new shows from DC on Netflix? That could be their new, like, lane that they could dominate now.
Well, Marvel is interesting because Marvel TV and Marvel movies are two different entities.
Yep.
So now when Marvel are going to make their own series on the new Disney streaming service, it'd be interesting to see how the movie people make a TV series compared to the TV people.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd be interested in that. I also like the whole one universe thing, but I do think the DC having separate universes off TV and stuff works a little bit better.
Well, it opens it up for more for you and allowing to do more experimental things, I guess, like doing more films that you can really just make the TV series whatever it is. You know, that's how you come up with things like the Arrowverse and stuff, and not having to worry about, you know, whether Superman needs to be involved in whatever the storyline is, because that's usually what they focus on everything around. You know, we never got a Batman film first. All we got was just Superman, and then Superman again with Batman in it, which Ben Affleck is no longer going to be Batman. So he was Batman for one film. Oh, well, 2 films if you count Justice League. So, like, I just really think that maybe Netflix and DC should do some more things. Maybe we should see some other shows. I want to see some more concepts. You know, try and dig a little bit more deeper into some of the cooler characters that we haven't really seen represented on TV. Like, we've got The Flash, we've got Supergirl, we've got fucking Green Arrow and all them kind of people. Like, maybe let's look at a villain or something. Like, let's try and do like a TV series of, like, I don't know, like a Lex Luthor one. Like a really cool kind of like before Lex. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think DC have got plans for stuff like that. From what I was getting, anyway. Well, they seem to be introducing people a fair amount.
Well, what about, like, they had their own streaming service, but I'm not quite sure what's going on with that for now. Like, we've not really heard much about the DC, you know, streaming service or DC digital platform. I'm not sure if it's out now or we're still waiting on it, or...
No, I think it did come. It did come out. It's only available in the US.
Only in the US.
It included like comics and stuff, so it wasn't just a full digital subscription to TV series. Like, they had comics and I can't remember what else. Movies, TV shows, shop exclusive merchandise, stuff like that. So I mean, how much of it's there, I don't know. If you're a big DC fan, maybe. It might never come to the UK, but it does look like they're going to bring their TV shows over to Netflix in the UK from that streaming service. So, I mean, I'm happy with seeing the TV shows on a different platform. We've seen that before with Marvel, obviously, like making shows for Netflix, bringing them to the UK. You know, there's a lot of stuff that could go well with this DC thing, but it all depends how they play it. You know, they're very into mixing up their shows and having crossovers a lot. And don't want to say spoilers, but spoilers. Well, I wouldn't say spoilers, but you know, if you don't want to know any tiny details, don't listen now. You sort of seen in Titans that they're open to crossovers quite a lot, or bringing new characters in. So there's a definite possibility that they're either setting things up for the future, or just very open to bringing in characters.
Yeah, I did hear that. Like at the end, there's a big reveal, so I'm kind of waiting for it still. So
yeah, that's the after credits stuff.
Yeah. Well, I know we got a little bit serious there because we always do when it's DC, but now it's time to really crack on some jokes again. Actually, no, first off, we're just going to announce that there's a new show coming from the guys who wrote The Office. Going to have Steve Carell in there. It's called Space Force. It's going to be based upon
it's based on like
Donald Trump's real Space Force, what he announced. So it's going to be essentially The Office in space, which sounds amazing. So I really just can't wait for that. It's a Netflix exclusive, so we shall see what's going to go on with that. I just wanted to announce that because we missed that off the last show. You got any thoughts on this, Tom?
I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm a really big fan of The Office, both US and UK, but I'm debating whether it'll be good or not. I just don't know how the same environment's going to fit in a Space Force thing. Like, it could work.
Well, apparently it's like people are dubbing it as that, but we don't essentially know exactly what the show's going to be like yet.
Yeah. I mean, if you watched The Orwell, which is Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek spoof show, in a way, that's like a sci-fi comedy, which we're seeing a lot of now, obviously, things like Rick and Morty. I mean, they've both been successful, and The Orwell I didn't expect to enjoy, but I enjoyed it, and it's got quite a good following now. I just expected it to be like a typical Seth MacFarlane shitty spoof. Yeah. But it wasn't. It sort of did its own thing and actually tackled some quite weird issues in a comedy. So that was interesting to see that. If this does the same thing, I'm down for that. I think that would be good.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to... I'm not sure if Netflix are trying to brand it too much as The Office, but I think the internet is trying to brand it too much as The Office in space. And I'm not sure how that's going to affect it on release.
Yeah, they said that was their whole like shtick. They was just thinking like, well, The Office is one of their most popular shows. Well, the trailer starts off with saying, from the guys who brought you The Office. We know how much that name alone, how much weight it holds. Like, I recently finished The Office and I thought it was amazing. I'm really sad that I didn't watch it at all. Like, I really, 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 like, I'm upset that I didn't watch it earlier. And I rewatch it quite frequently as well now because I just think it's such a great series. And
it's got a massive cult following.
Yeah, massive cult following, and I understand why now because it's hilarious. And yeah, essentially, it's going to be a hard act to follow, especially if you've got such a big name like that surrounding it, saying like, "Oh, from the guys who brought you The Office." Well, of course, all we're expecting now is The Office again. We want to see the same shit. Like, we want to see the same dynamics, the same relationships. Don't bring up The Office. Like, I'm hoping this is like Netflix is doing, and they figure this out by the time that the show actually comes out, that they don't really need to say that in order to promote the new series.
I think the most important thing for this to be a success is the casting. So the Office casting was really good.
Yeah.
But a lot of those people were unknown when they were like casting the roles.
Yeah.
They've all gone on to have like really good acting careers.
Or like
not all of them,
like
but
producing, directing, like they've all gone on to do really great things though in that kind of area, haven't they? So
yeah, they're well known for doing like that role and having that character. And some of them have moved out. Obviously, they had Steve Carell, who was pretty well known at that point, you could say. They've got him again, obviously, but the difference is who do you put around him? Because are they going to go for well-known actors because they've got a massive budget? Or are they going to go for unknown actors?
Well, it's just like
do something different.
It's like trying to like, what is that term called? Like trying to catch like light in a bottle, like lightning in a bottle, or something like that. It's like trying to recreate that kind.
Never heard that.
How have you never heard that phrase before? No, that phrase is real. Lightning. Google it right now. Lightning in a bottle. It's a real phrase.
So lightning in a bottle. Okay.
It's like a phrase. It's like
originally referenced to Benjamin Franklin's kite experiment. It's a madman.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's like the full expression. It's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Sometimes to keep lightning in a bottle also. And it describes something that's extremely difficult, perhaps bordering on the impossible. So in order to recreate the same magic of The Office is it's essentially extremely difficult, perhaps bordering on the impossible.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've seen with things like Parks and Rec. I don't know if you've seen Parks and Rec.
I tried to get in it. I couldn't do it, man. I didn't think it was as funny.
I mean, a lot of those actors are like sort of unknowns at the time. Friends, same sort of thing. Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
I think the dynamic of having a sitcom work is very much about having people play the characters and not be linked to strong characters elsewhere. So we'll have to see. I mean, Steve Carell, I'm confident, can play the role of a different guy.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as he's not too similar to Michael from The Office. If they just try and carbon copy it won't work.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. There's no real date about anything coming out yet, is there? There's just that trailer. But it's going to be an interesting one. We'll move back on to a film that you're really excited about. I know you've been going on about this for ages.
I'm not. Shut the fuck up, because I'm not excited about this. I've never been excited about this. He's a liar. I have never ever expressed any type of excitement for a film called Hobbs and Shaw. First and foremost, Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
I mean, last week you put a Fast and Furious soundtrack song on the playlist.
Yeah, that's because
to show your excitement for the new film.
That's because Tokyo Drift's a classic. That is the only Fast and Furious film that I'll ever give any respect to, because all the rest of them are just shit. Like, absolute shit. I just really can't believe that, like, we're going through this again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll give it. Fast and Furious was good up until about 3 or 4. I can't remember when, but after that, I wasn't really too bothered about it.
Man,
maybe not 4. I don't know what 4 was.
They got Idris Elba in here acting like some type of like super villain. Like, he's got like powers. I'm like, I just didn't understand what was going on. I was thinking, first of all, how, like, I thought that, like, Shaw guy was dead. Why is he now teaming up with The Rock? Isn't he a super criminal? Like, why is he not arrested and in jail? Why is The Rock just chilling? What's going on? Like, I just don't understand. What time frame is this in? When is he doing all of this?
now in Fast and Furious world.
Fuck.
I honestly don't think there is. I don't know. I've not watched them. There's probably some story that makes sense.
I fucking hate it.
It's turned from like classic drift cars and making the odd sort of robbery to like fucking bank heist and Mission Impossible and superheroes and Lamborghinis and The Rock and Jason Statham. Like these are people that primarily do. I was gonna say action movies, but like primarily do that. Well, yeah, action movies. But why is it still called Fast and Furious? Because it's not really about cars anymore. Literally, just fucking call it the Bank Heist. The Bank Heist 2. We do a Bank Heist again 3. Like, it is Mission Impossible, but just branded with cars.
Man, I knew The Rock was getting his own spin-off because he's the biggest thing since fucking the world. And I just...
still got Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious series.
But Vin...
Jason Statham.
But didn't you hear about the last one? I heard Vin switched up on the real team. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, I'm not a big fan, so...
I'm not a big fan either. I just heard that.
I don't know, if there's people out there, well, there's obviously people out there that like this stuff.
Yo, the Chinese audience, that's who likes it. This is the only people who like really drive in this film still.
Was it the last film where they had like a boat that was underwater or something? A car
it's
that was underwater or
It's
something?
the one where the rock.
Wait, was he
No,
on the missile?
No. Yes, he stopped the missile with his hands, with his bare hands. He stopped the missile with his bare hands. It's bullshit. Oh my gosh! And to think that we've actually got like, it's been confirmed to be like a Fast and Furious 10. That means we've got 3 more films to endure.
Wait, so is this 9?
This
is just a spin-off?
This is not Tom. This ain't even 8. This is like fucking a spin-off. Like that's nothing to do with the main like lore of Fast and Furious. This is a spin-off film. That means we've got another one coming next year, I think, or 2021.
I've watched the trailer. There's probably about, a second of a car driving in it. Considering it's called the Fast and Furious series, you'd expect them to be driving cars.
They stopped driving cars in Tokyo Drift. That's why I don't watch the film no more. They stopped driving cars in Tokyo Drift. I have not seen them actually just do a race. I've seen them race tanks and shit. Well, I haven't seen them actually just be like, yo, let's race, like, Ludacris and the boys, Tyrese and them. Like...
Yeah, it used to just... Tokyo Drift obviously was about drift racing, but before that, even like Fast and Furious 2, I think.
And then there was Too Fast, Too Furious.
Paul Walker and like low riding, souped out cars.
Exactly. Yeah, Paul Walker, Ludacris, Tyrese, Vin Diesel. But all those kind of people. Then Tokyo Drift came along. That was a new wave that like explored a different type of racing. Why couldn't they just do that? Why couldn't they just look at like different racing types? Why do we have to go into becoming like...
Because it doesn't sell.
Super car criminals that are like doing heists, but with the good guys. But no, you're not the good guys, are you?
It doesn't sell. That's the reason it doesn't sell. If you get The Rock and whoever the fuck else wants to be in the film that's massive and an action star, then why not just make it into some... I don't know... It basically is just a Jason Statham film with The Rock and a bit of Mission Impossible thrown in.
And then bring in Idris Elba because he offsets the...
Yeah, sprinkle a bit of Idris Elba.
Exactly. He offsets the race tone. So, we've got to get, a muscly black guy in there because that's what's current right now. That's all they're doing. That is all they're doing. They're just shoehorning people in there. Like, this is look. The trailer opens by introducing. This is from EmpireOnline.com. This is the quote unquote. The trailer opens by introducing the movie's new big bad. The filmmakers needed somewhat of a brick brick shit house proportions to take on the might of Hobbs and Shaw.
Wow, great journalism.
I know, it's great journalism. They found one in Brixton, played by Idris Elba, with some adjustments. Quote unquote, this is from the producer and director. He is a future tech mercenary soldier. I ain't watching the film.
Sounds like a good anime.
It sounds like horse shit. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, if you say there's car criminals and they're fighting against a future tech soldier, I mean, to me that sounds like a pretty cool anime. But I'd not do it with super muscly men and shit cars.
It's just bare fucking testosterone in the one trailer. I'm just thinking, how more action packed do you need to get?
Hang on. You didn't even read the next bit. He uses gear that's at the forefront of technology. His suit is thin and flexible, but also bulletproof. Because why the fuck not?
What's this made out of? Carbon fiber? What is it? What is this? Oh, the shots.
He's a super tech merchant.
The shots,
but it's not sci-fi.
The shot seems to show him being injected with a kind of super serum, but Morgan stops short at any suggestion he's an entirely otherworldly foe. He's not anything sci-fi per se, but he's been augmented in some ways. So how are we going to fit this into the Fast and Furious lore, which is supposedly supposed to exist in the real world?
Future tech merchant. Stop, future tech mercenary soldier.
Jesus Christ.
See? I mean, the Fast and Furious world is not in the real world anyway, because it's impossible to fucking grab onto a missile and then stop it with your bare hands. I don't care how fucking big you are.
Not if you're The Rock.
You can't do it.
Not if you're The Rock, Tom.
Right, let's fucking test it. Someone get a missile, fire it at him, see if he stops it with his bare hands. If he doesn't, there we go. I mean, I don't hate any of the actors in this film. Fair play, they get a big fucking paycheck for doing it. But, man, why are people making this shit and why are people watching it? I don't get it.
See, look.
I mean, I do get it.
Here's something else I need to pull out as well. So they got given a really, really nice McLaren, they got given a McLaren car to use. The producer or director, whatever, Morgan, screenwriter.
Can I guess what they did to it?
Oh, no. It gets crazy. Morgan, who notes that these racing cars weren't exactly designed for the kind of stunt madness expected of a Fast and Furious movie. Let's stop right there, Tom. Who notes that these racing cars aren't designed for such stunt madness. They're so focused and stable, designed for maximum stability. Oh, I don't know, Morgan. I don't know if, because McLaren's only make sports racing cars. You fucking idiot. Wow. I just,
Fast and Furious, stunting on them hoes since 06.
It's shit. It's just stupid shit. Let's just even move on because we're getting real riled up in this, and we've got we've got music and stuff to talk about before we hit our timer because we've got some moves to make. Alright, so we're on music, new releases. I just do a little rundown. So we got Nectar by Young Lean, also known as Jonathan. Lean Duo 127. That is his other name that he goes by. It's a really cool album. It's acoustic. It's acoustic indie, kind of spoken word rap.
It's a weird thing, but I think there's potential.
It's nice.
I mean, it wasn't super impressive. It was good, but there's potential to make it better if he focuses on production a bit more on it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe focusing his lyrics because I really like a song on there called Porcelain. But I say some of it's kind of a bit offbeat, and I know he's doing that for effect, but sometimes it can sound like it's just really poorly produced, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather him try and focus it a little bit more, be a little bit more tighter rather than freeform with the words. But either way though, I really like the project. Indigo by Indigo Child Rick got re-released. This is his album from 2012. Is now on all streaming services. I'll go and listen to that because it was ahead of its time to be released in 2012. And we got Third Avenue by UK rap artist Fredo. We got the Seven Rings remix featuring 2 Chainz by Ariana Grande. It's actually really cool. Skepta, Wish You Were Here, the Wiley War dub. That's a diss. Skepta sending for Wiley again. The streets are starting to heat up. Boogie, Everything's for Sale. G Herbo and Southside still swerving. You know that we're big fans of G Herbo. On the show, we really liked Who Runs It freestyle last year. Lancey, Foe, Sickadilly Circus. That's another UK artist who's making waves in America right now. Wonder by Jay Prince. Really nice project. I actually got a chance to check that out. It's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to pull something out so quick.
Yeah, neither did I.
Project, and it's actually a really good project. It doesn't seem rushed or anything.
No, not at all. Also have Bury a Friend by Billie Eilish, which I'm not too sold on yet, but Tom seems to be really focusing on trying to push her. So yeah, I'm trying to get into her more and more.
Yeah, there's we'll talk about it for like a few minutes. There's been a lot of like hype around her recently with this song that come out. A lot of artists, people like Miguel, Lil Yachty, Sam Smith, for example, like all giving shout outs to her and praising her work. And it's very interesting what she's trying to do with the album, or what the team she's working on are trying to do with the album. So basically, in an interview, she said that she wanted to make sure that everyone enjoyed the music that she made on this album. So each song is going to have a different genre in a way. So if you're a fan of any genre, you can pick up the album, listen to like all of it, and maybe find like a song that you like off it.
That's interesting.
The Bury a Friend song is weird when you first listen to it. You can't work out what it is, but it's a good song. Like if you really listen to it, it is a good song. It's where the the title of the album comes from is in this song as well. I can't remember it off the top of my head. So it's something about where do we something about where do they go or something. But if you do get the chance, check out the album. It comes out March 29th. You can add it to like your library now, and definitely check out the Bury a Friend video, because that video is creepy as fuck, but props, because it is a good video. Like, it's a very creative video, leans into a lot of horror stuff, and a lot of sort of, I don't know, you could call it like horror sci-fi in a way, like testing on people and stuff like that. Like it's interesting. You'll probably like the video even if you don't like the song. So you definitely will, by the way. You'll like the video. But moving on. Another what? Girl that's back on the block, shall we say? And it's not J-Lo. Maybe not a great transition, that. Nicki Minaj is back with some freestyles coming off of Queen Radio this week. Long-awaited return of Queen Radio, you could say, for a few people. She come out with 2 freestyles off this, actually. One is from a freestyle over Drip Too Hard by Lil Baby and Gunna. And this Barbie Drip is probably the strongest freestyle coming out of this. I'm actually quite impressed by it. Yeah. We have shit on Nicki a little bit in the past for the last project she's done and how vocal she is on social media, but to be fair, she goes in hard on Barbie Drip, so I'll give her that.
Yeah, I thought the both of the freestyles that she did were really good, and Yeah, Barbie Drip is pretty impressive, but I do like the other one, which I think she's calling Barbie Going Bad. This is the Drake and Meek one. It's very interesting to see her do it. And I actually listened to the show yesterday because my girlfriend was to the show. We're actually going to the tour as well. So I get to see Juice WRLD, which is going to be really cool. And she was listening to it, and I heard Nicki talking about how she might be dropping a freestyle every week until the big thing comes out. So I'm thinking, and she kept talking about a fifth album. So I'm thinking a fifth album is coming very, 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 very soon. So we'll just have to wait and see. Like, could a mixtape come in, like, with all, like, Nicki Minaj rapping over other people's songs? Could this be what she needs in order to, like, improve her standing in the public eye again and become the number one? Like, could that be what it is? Because, you know, her fan base seem to judge her a lot on what she does and her moves, and they want certain things from her, but she seems to just do what she likes, which I have really respect her for. And but she's got to know that, like, you know, she isn't the only female rap artist anymore who holds a weight. Do you know what I'm saying? I guess in the industry, like, there's other rap artists. Like, there was a girl called Dream Doll came out with a diss track to Tory Lanez, and it was probably better than any diss track I've heard in a while. It was really good. So it's interesting what Nicki Minaj is doing. I think it's good. I think Queen Radio is one of the best ventures that she's ever done. And for her, like, for her image, it makes her have a platform to talk about things that she wants to in her own time and space. So it's
I'd
beneficial.
much rather do that than
that's what
tweet shit.
See, that's what I was saying. Like, I think Queen Radio is her space where she deserves to have, like, she could make so much money being, like, you know, do radio stuff, like, being a personality, because she's got charisma. She's a very intriguing person. Like, you know, if you put all of the antics and stuff aside, people are very interested in what Nicki Minaj has to say. So, she's going on tour with Soulja Boy. That's pretty crazy as well. Like, her and Soulja Boy have actually had quite a good relationship in the past with songs and things as well. And produced one of her first breakout songs, which was called Itty Bitty Piggy as well. I didn't know Soulja Boy actually produced that back in, like, 2009. So that's pretty impressive.
Big Draco making moves.
Big Draco has always been making moves. Also, he world premiered a new song on there. Him and Chief Keef, which is produced by Tay Keith. Tom, the song is fire. Like, really good. You know, and I take the piss here, but I don't lie. If the song is really good, that song was really good. The beat is insane. I need to try and send you a link to it so you can listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, Soulja's not been too bad recently.
He isn't. I like that. Cut the Check. That song's not that bad either.
Yeah.
I think that song's alright.
I don't know if that was the same song he released with World Star Hip Hop video exclusive, but
World Star, you know, I can't believe World Star's still going. Like, rest in peace, Q. I can't believe, like, they're going without a CEO. Like, there's only one World Star. Like, how are they even still functioning as a company?
I don't know.
It's just really. Do they still do fight comps? Right?
I've not checked.
I remember when we used to watch those in, like, college. We used to watch, like, fight comps. I can't believe that kind of shit was even, like, on the internet, just viable for everyone to watch. It's insane.
Yeah, I was walking back from the shop the other day, and there was a fight, and everyone was still shouting World Star, so still relevant.
Amazing. I love when I see a fight and I shout World Star. Like, it just makes me feel like back in college.
Don't promote
again.
violence.
No, we don't promote any type of violence or hatred on this show at all. We are for positivity, love, and peace.
Yeah, just World Star compilations.
Yeah, and it doesn't even really help what we're going into next. But what we're going into next is a pretty.
Oh yeah.
Is a pretty.
I did not think that through at all.
It's a pretty heavy subject. Is a bit. We're gonna try and maneuver around this as best as we can, because we don't know all the facts. We're only getting reports. We have no idea what's going on. But Tekashi 6ix9ine, aka born as Daniel Hernandez, has entered a guilty plea. He's claiming that, before it was claiming that his gangster image was a part of his act, but now he's pled guilty for about 9 federal charges. And if you know what a federal charge is, that's some serious shit. So he's facing a minimum up to 32 years and a maximum of life in prison. And he's scheduled to be sentenced on the 24th of January 2020. We don't know how his plea is going to affect him, but let's just say that 6ix9ine is very much cooperating with the law enforcement about his gang affiliations, about him paying an associate to shoot Chief Keef. Either way, I can't really see him getting out of this alive, which is really sad to say. Like,
alive? That's a big statement, but
I just think because the people who were already trying to kill him, he is now talking out against. So
yeah, he's also
he's
also going to be locked.
He's also going to be locked up.
People know.
Yeah, exactly. And I know it's sad, and I shouldn't say things like that, but that's a really scary thing to think about. He's just trying to do his best. He has a family. He has a child. He has a partner and stuff like that. He has a family. He has a music career. I just don't know why he had to do all these crazy things. Why he was literally the biggest rap star in the world. I don't understand why he did that.
I think his management let him down a little bit.
Well, Treyway, or now we're known as 9 Trey Bloods, were his management. Fetty Wap was signed to Treyway. So was his baby mother, Alexis Sky, who's an IG. Well, we call them IG models. I just think the amount of shit he did from joining the gang allegedly joining the gang in 2016 to 17 just really goes to show that if you do get embroiled in this kind of gangster image and mentality, and it can lead you down to some real fucked up shit, man. This is some serious time he's facing in prison, and I don't think, as people are calling it in the streets, quote unquote, snitching on everyone is going to get you out any faster. Do you know what I'm saying? I just don't think it's going to help. And I just think we're not going to really see a great outcome from this. And I think about the family. He's got a daughter, and missing a father in their life. It's sad, but also at the same time, he shouldn't have been committing these acts allegedly. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna have to see what's going on. We're gonna see films and documentaries about this in about 10 years time. It's probably gonna go on as a very legendary story. It's kind of unbelievable, really, about some of the shit that he actually is admitting to, all of it. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's sad in a way, because he sort of did have the world at his feet with the music he was making. I'm not a fan of his music, and he's done
neither
some
am I.
shit before.
Yeah, neither am I.
I'm not a fan of, but it's still a young artist that has really is the same age as us, and has made bad decisions, and people not giving him the right advice, and this is where he's come to. It happens a lot in industries like film and music, where young talented people do get given the wrong advice or get taken advantage of, so people above them can make more money.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's gone on in a way. I also think he's sort of seen it as himself that he needs to be this sort of gangster rap image to show that he can be on the same level as these people in the music industry.
For real.
But I mean, we can see that like it hasn't worked out, and I mean, if you've got the talent, you just keep pushing. In my opinion, you keep pushing and pushing until you get a breakthrough, and you don't change who you are to try and sell something. Like, all right, you can put on an act, that's fine. Like, if you're selling yourself as an act, that's cool, but don't take that into your personal life. There's no need for it. Like,
yeah.
You don't have to actually go out and do that shit to write a song about it.
Well, he was saying that he was improving his standing, but because it got to a point where he was a part of the gang, but he was also signed to the record label who had the gang affiliation. It was all tied up. It literally was how they were saying they were the new Death Row. You know, Suge Knight, you know, how that all went down, like,
yeah.
Easy-E, all of that kind of shit that went down. Essentially, it was like that. It was a gang first, then a music industry, then a music label. That's what the kind of thing I'm getting with the Treyway, 9 Trey Bloods, all of that kind of shit. I just, you know, I can't say that I can say that I feel sorry for him, but I can't say that, like, you know, he doesn't deserve what's going to happen to him, because he does, because he's the one who made these choices himself. I still think that, you know, it's unfortunate. I don't think that, you know, if he truly didn't do anything that was too damaging, that he should be receiving some, like, these mad years, especially if he was in such a position where, like, he was, like, you know, I say maybe putting an image on and he was kind of like pressured into feeling like he had to act that way, then, you know, I'm just, you know, feel sorry that the pressure got to him and he thought he had to act on these things. And when you're in those kind of situations with this kind of people, you will start to act that way. Do you know what I'm saying? This is a 5-year federal investigation. They were already investigating this gang before he was even a member.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that might give him some leeway, but he is. The trouble is, he's mixed with the wrong people. There's sometimes you make a bad decision and you can get out of it. With something like this, it doesn't matter if he goes away for 2 years. He's mixed with the wrong people, and those people don't give a shit about the consequences or the outcome at that point. Like, as long as, I mean, there was rumours of him snitching, and obviously he's come out and pleaded guilty.
Yeah, well,
how much has changed his mind by him being threatened? We don't.
There's not even any rumours of snitching. We know that he took a plea, and he's definitely in court saying things, not necessarily naming names, but he's saying, I am a part of this gang, giving validity that there is a gang, making anybody who's representing the rest of his associates, making all of their cases fall apart if they're all claiming not to be a part of this gang. So essentially he is quote unquote snitching already. So
well, he's, like you said, he is putting his life on the line.
Yeah,
I mean, he was doing that anyway. When you make a decision to join something like that, you do. But to openly, publicly out people, now you're putting your head on that poster. You're that top bounty that everyone wants now. You know, if you're on about raising your standing, you've raised your standing the wrong way, and someone then will raise their standing the right way by taking you out.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not nice to say, but I mean,
that's just how it goes, though.
That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. That's just how it goes. Well, apart from that, though, that's just you know, we'll just announce one little more nicer topic, and then we're gonna get out of here. Rocky is doing a tour film. I don't know when that's going to come out. He announces things all the time and they never come out. As Tyler, the Creator, says, don't ever believe A$AP Rocky because he just announces shit. So, yeah, hopefully when that comes out, we're going to watch it. We'll give our little review. I kind of missed the org DVDs. Those were so cool. Remember when those used to come out?
Yeah. The trailer looked alright for this. I was a bit confused as to what the fuck was going on.
Yeah,
don't know what he's trying to tell.
Basically,
I don't know if he's trying to say like.
Basically, people were just being like fucking assholes at like concerts as usual. So like, just obviously getting kicked out for being too crazy.
Yeah, see, I don't know if he was trying to tell the story that he's proud of that, or he's sort of saying like, because from what I'm getting, Injured Generation. And then that, I'm guessing that he's just like, look, you need to sort your shit out. But I don't know if he's literally just saying like, Injured Generation because it's testing tour.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Injured Generation tour, innit, or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know what it's going to tell. I don't know if it's just going to be a tour video.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not quite sure even myself. You know, A$AP Rocky in it. I'm sure everything will make sense eventually when we get all the pieces in about 6 years' time.
If you want more context of what we're talking about, go check out the Injured Generation movie trailer on A$AP Rocky's Instagram, or probably any of his social medias.
Yeah.
You'll definitely be able to find it if you just Google it as well. So that might give you a bit more context as to what we've just spoke about there with we're not really sure on the idea of where it's going to go.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. I think that's about it. Got anything else, Tom, or we're about to boogie out of here?
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like obviously weekly playlist coming out.
Yeah,
every Tuesday. Yeah, 6 p.m.
Yeah,
playlists come out every other week 6 p.m. The episodes come out every other week 6 p.m.
Yep.
Thanks for listening for nearly a year now.
Shit. We haven't done that. We haven't done the questions.
We got enough time to take some questions. We'll do some questions.
Alright, 1 sec. What's going on? I'm going on there. I'm gonna go on. We'll just do it really, really quick because we only got a few. So like, we're just.
I got some questions.
You got some?
Yeah, I got I can't actually see the whole question. Oh, you have to press that to see the whole question. There we go. Wait. So, we got a question about music. We got a question about gaming that we've probably got time for. So, which do you want to go first? Should we talk about music? Because we just spoke about music.
Yeah, we did the music one.
Question says, what do you think of the current state of the rap game?
Okay, I'm going to try and sum it up in about a minute. Current state of the rap game. I think it's very interesting. It's captivating at the moment. We're hearing a lot of new sounds that, you know, the older rap generation didn't really even they never ever explored before. We're seeing a lot of genre blending. I like the whole punk aesthetic that's being brought into rap more. I like how we're kind of just being more accepting of different types of sounds. It doesn't have to all be lyrical, but if you do want the lyrics, the people who do provide that are there for you. There is so many great people in the current climate who are very lyrical, and you just need to go out there and find that type of music and find the right music for you. It's not about bashing another sound or one sound or hip hop is, there's many genres within hip hop now, I think, and there's enough to go around. So I'm happy with what rap's in, especially how more women are getting represented, and we're seeing more different cultures also get into rap and have their own style of rap too, and I think it's really cool. That's my opinion on current state. What do you think, Tom?
I'm going to sort of take it a different direction and assess the question from a point of view of the state is in the not the state music wise, but the state sort of well, say like violence wise or whatever we could say. So I'm going to go from that point of view. We've seen a lot of. We just spoke about 6ix9ine, XX Tenation, obviously last year. Rest in peace to both of them. Mac Miller as well. Yeah. Rest in peace. I think there's obviously a problem with a lot of young people coming into the industry, mainly in that rap area, and trying to portray this sort of gangster image, you could say.
Yeah.
And they're getting caught up in shit they shouldn't be caught up in. And they need to really sort of work that out in a way. So we either need better management in there, or these people need to be making better decisions. You know, there's too many people that we're seeing go young, and that's a shame. And also, I don't think all this beef is helping. Like, a lot of people are trying to call each other out now. I know that's always been a thing, but people are doing it now just for pure publicity to try and get their name back on the map. People like Nicki and Eminem, and then people trying to get their name on the map for doing that. But it's causing friction and problems between people all the time. And, you know, that can cause people that have just come into the game to think that's the right thing to do, start doing that, mess with the wrong person, next thing they know, you know. I think maybe we should just sort of stick to music. You know, the rap game's really good at the moment. Like you just said, it's a great time for hip hop, and people need to appreciate that. Like, it's the music, it's cool, it's doing well.
Yeah, but, like it's reaching heights and audiences that, you know, we could have never dreamed of before. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, rap is one of the biggest, most influential in genres right now, and that's a really big thing. And it's our generation that pushes it forward, nobody else. So, I just think that it's just really important. Any more? Like, we've got a couple more on the question.
There is one question that we've probably got time for now. It's a gaming question. What monsters would you want to be added to Iceborne exploration of Monster World? Now, do you want me to answer that first? Because
you could probably answer it a lot better. Like,
yeah, I mean, we've both not played Monster World too much. Just basically, like, not had the time to play. What type of monsters? I mean, I don't really know what monsters are in there. Type of monsters I'd probably expect for, like, some Iceborne exploration. Probably like a massive fuck off yeti.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like a real big...
Something that you've got to climb, sort of Shadow of the Colossus type stuff. Like, that might switch it up a little bit. I think that would be cool. Have to, like, jump on each arm 4 people at a time or something.
Yeah,
like,
that would be hard.
Could be interesting. Something like a mammoth. You know, a trunk movement maybe that sort of can, like, swish you out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Different type of movements like that for enemies. Packs of saber-toothed tigers. I don't know if these are already included in the Iceborne exploration, but just off the top of my head, this is what I'm thinking. Other thing, I don't know, like the Iceborne stuff. There's not too much you can really go into. Obviously, you got like penguins, but not sure how that would work. Whereas you got like polar bears, but you know, I'm trying to think of like a big monster you can sort of go with. Well, you're thinking like some sort of ice dino. Don't know, that could be cool. Okay. Go for like some big ass T-Rex with like some
that could be cool.
Icicle scales all up its back or something. I'd like that. That'd be interesting. Something different. Yeah. I don't know that. What, you got anything that you
maybe
like to see?
Maybe like a ice dragon or something, or like a winter wolf. That would be cool. Like a kind of like a really big like winter like dog. I'm trying to think like more like Monster Hunter-esque. Yeah, probably something that would be. I'll probably have to go and look at like animals and monsters that would probably be more fitting towards like ice landscapes, like maybe like a really big, scary, monstrous polar bear. That would be cool, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really things along that line. Either way, I wouldn't quite mind. I do really need to get into Monster Hunter World, and now that I've got the PC and we can really start piecing it up online and streaming and hopefully get more games, and we would really like to play with any of you guys as well. Like, we really want to try and make something happen. Anyone who is out there listening who wants to play like games with us too, that'd be really cool. Yeah, I think that's just it really for episode 25. I haven't really got anything else. Just thanks for the support as always. Just remember the weekly playlist every week, episode every other week, dash every Thursday at I want to say 3 a.m. PST.
3 a.m.
Yeah, 3 a.m.
GMT.
3 a.m. GMT. But 7 p.m. PST. Also a rerun on Tuesday at about 2 in the afternoon or 1 in the afternoon, and on a Tuesday.
I can't remember now. It changes, but it's roughly about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday.
Greenwich Mean Time.
Yeah. So go check that out. As I said before, we've still got things coming on the way, some exciting things that we're trying to get together. Just uni is really kicking our ass right now, but that we're gonna get that.
Give us time.
Give us time. We've got things on the way. We're working as hard as we ever can, and we're super happy. And we're super motivated to keep working on this. So, thanks, guys. Episode 25. I'm Tairell.
Am I meant to say?
Yes, you're supposed to say I'm Tom.
Okay.
I'm Tairell.
I'm Tom.
And that's Tom. He's an idiot. Goodbye. Episode 25. Peace, guys.
If you liked any of the music in today's show, then please check the credits in the description to see what songs we used.